Brought to you by CHM, a biblically based alternative to health insurance. Learn more at chministries.org/budget.
My question is I recently had a parent-in-law pass away, and I was informed and told that all the siblings had to come together to pay for the funeral. And while it was very sad what happened, they did leave property behind and vehicles, several properties, as a matter of fact. And so is it okay that I feel like this is not my obligation? Is there something wrong with that, with feeling that way?
You can feel however you want to feel. Feelings are cool. That doesn't make them true.
Okay.
And it may have zero bearing on what actually happens. But yeah, feel however you want to feel.
Okay. I'm being made to feel like I'm a bad person because I don't want to help pay for a funeral that I know there's money there, and I guess it's just the principle of being told that that we have to pay for the funeral.
Who's making you feel bad, your spouse or the in-law siblings?
My spouse.
Do y'all have the money?
We do.
Okay.
I want to know what John's going to say, but I want to know two things before he says it. Number one, how much?
It was just under $3,000
per sibling, like per
Correct.
sibling family. Okay.
Correct. There's 8 of them.
There's 8 brothers and sisters.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
So $24,000 for this funeral is what we're looking at.
Correct.
Okay. Then the other part, and John's going to say what he's going to say. The other part, if I were in your shoes. This is the situation I'm thinking. If I had, and I don't know what your relationship was with the in-laws, but if I had a poor relationship with my in-laws, if I didn't really have a relationship with them, I'd care 2 cents, and I'm finding out that our cut of the thing is $3,000, which that's not the case, but I'm just saying. My first inclination would be to say, well, how would I feel if it was reverse? And if it was my family, what is the treatment that I would hope from my spouse? So that's just kind of where my mind first goes, John.
Well, I think it's 100%.
Go.
If I was a guessing man, a betting man, I would bet you've been, quote unquote, told what y'all are going to do for holidays, for meals, for shopping, for how many presents. You're tired of being told, huh?
Correct.
Yes. And so it sounds like your feelings are your feelings. You can have them all day long. This is your husband's mom or your husband's dad.
Got it.
And if you got $3,000, you got it. And if there's a whole bunch of property, 17 years after it's all been filtered through all 8 siblings and their spouses and their kids and ex-spouses and all that, you'll get your $3,000 back.
Got it.
I mean, if you were telling me, hey, this is going to put us on the street, and my husband's putting all this on a credit card, he went out and took a HELOC out, then we're sitting down, because I would have a conversation with him, like, math doesn't care that your parents just passed away. You don't have that money.
Got it.
Right? Y'all do. This is just about you are tired of getting pushed around by his family. Is that fair?
Very fair.
Okay. This is outside of, and Jade, push back on me, outside of we simply don't have the money.
It's not the first time it's happened, and so I guess
I know.
It's like it happens all the time, and I'm just tired.
You're at the edge.
Well, okay, so here's the deal.
Yeah.
It's happened a whole bunch. It's going to happen a whole bunch after this. But when the house is underwater, that's not the time to talk about, I told you should have replaced the faucet. That's the time to get all the water out of the house, start bailing the water out. Once the water's bailed out, then we're going to go to breakfast, and we're going to talk about, hey, in the future, every time I feel like that your brothers and sisters and their spouses have more influence on our home than I do. And I didn't say I do to all of them. I said I do to you. This is our home. Can we come up with some boundaries for what is going to be? If that means coming up with a fund that he puts money into every month, like a sinking fund that is just take care of his boundaryless family members because he doesn't have any spine, cool, come up with that fund.
Okay.
But with one of his parents in a casket right now, that's just a weird time to throw the gauntlet down for $2,500 or $3,000 money y'all have.
Well, that, and it makes you the bad guy.
Yeah. And
exactly.
Here's the bad guy here. The bad guy here is nobody. Just it stinks that we lost a parent.
Yeah.
Right? And so I would hold his hand through grief and say, I'm sorry for causing a ruckus. Let's put our $3,000 in. And then when this whole thing is over, when he's y'all write y'all are doing your grief. Y'all are talking about what now? How are you? Then you come up with the boundaries conversation. Hey, this has happened our entire marriage, and I want to draw a line here. Is that fair?
That's very fair.
Okay. I'm sorry about your loss. And by the way, your feelings, anybody listening, your feelings are your feelings. You can have them. You're allowed to. That doesn't change reality, though.
No.
Right?
But what you said is such a good point. Don't draw the line in the sand. Don't die on the hill while you're still, climbing up it. Like, wait till you get to the top and be like, okay, now let's talk.
I remember one of my professors told me, like, no one has ever had an aha moment after 10 o'clock at night. Bro. Go to bed.
Yeah.
Go to bed. Right?
That's so
old,
good.
like, don't go to bed on your anger. Sometimes go to bed.
Yeah.
Y'all are together. You're united. You'll figure it out. Go to bed and figure it out after everybody's eaten and somebody's had some coffee and the sun is back out. Right?
Yeah, that's so funny. Sam and I learned early on in our marriage, like, there's something about standing in the kitchen that it's not a good time.
It's never a good time.
It always turns into an argument. If you're standing up in the kitchen after hours and you bring up something that's a hot button issue, it will be an argument.
Yes.
And so
even last night, my wife said, and it's because she's awesome, I wanted to talk about calendar and then budget, and then there was more budget, and we got all the way into, all right, but if I move over this for my son's freshman year of college, he's a freshman in high school, by the way, and she said, she literally goes, you have 7 minutes, because it's getting up on 9 o'clock. And she's like, you have 7 minutes, and then I turn back into a pumpkin. And it was like we don't have any productive conversations after 7.
It's true.
And I get all nihilistic. And then what happens when the dollar collapses? And she's like, dude, I just want to go to bed.
But you know what? Do you know what I find when you figure out those things that kind of takes the steam out? Like Sam and I figured out early on, if we go for a walk.
Always.
And we're not looking at, like, you probably know this because
shoulder
you're,
to shoulder, dude.
You're
That's right.
a guy, the professional. But when we're not looking at each other, we can talk about some of the most things that would usually turn into an argument. We're able to talk through them because we're not looking directly, like staring face to face, watching every nuance of your reaction. It's like, just go for a walk, hold hands.
Well, that's why I always tell people,
sit in a booth.
When you have hard conversations, don't have them at dinner, have them at breakfast, because the sun is out, you've got some sleep, and you can have some coffee.
But not standing in the kitchen.
Don't do it standing in the kitchen, right? Sit down at the table. But yeah, the environment plays a big role into this. But yeah, when somebody's parent has passed away, if there's trauma there, it's going to hurt. If they were super tight, it's going to hurt. It's just going to hurt. Yeah. And that's not the time to be like, well, I told you. Let's get through that funeral. And if you got the money, you got the money. You got the money, right?
Yeah.
So thanks for that call. Janie, your willingness to be open about your feelings is going to help a lot of people, because I think a lot of people right now, Jay, don't feel like they have permission to feel how they want to feel. Doesn't change reality, though.
That's right.
And we have to operate in reality.
That's true. Very, very good advice, Dr. John Deloney, as usual.
CHM isn't health insurance. It's a health cost-sharing ministry. Check it out for yourself at chministries.org/budget.